Good evening, Pio Nation. I hope you're having a great Monday. My name is Matt Williamson,
I'm Vincent Anderson.
and you are watching Marietta College Esports. So tonight we have a very special match for you. I'm trying to find the right word for it. I would say it's like a big moment, but I can't think of a better word for it.
Yeah.
But we are participating in the NACE competition for Overwatch. We were very excited that NACE has been able to set up the Overwatch competition, so we're going to be involved with it. So we're going to be going up against Shawnee State University, which, from what I've been told, is a very, very good Overwatch team. So we'll see how this match goes. We're still trying to get things set up in the lobby, so we should be able to get that underway in a few minutes. So we'll go ahead and go over the roster while I'm trying to see what's going on with the lobby. See here. Yes, and Vince, if you want to go ahead and run down the roster of what we have here for our Overwatch team.
Yeah, sure. So for our lineup today, I believe we'll be having, well, for all of our players, we have Azadale or Tyler Salanitro on tank, as well as questionably Q or Quentin Shields on, who's our second tank, as well as Shaken Dwarf or Drayton Piper on DPS, as well as Shadow Dragon or Caleb Bradley on their other DPS. And for supports, we have Morgan White on who is Poseidon in game, Azura, who also known as Haley Newman, as well as on support, and me, Caps Lock on tank as an emergency sub, as well as Harmful Hades, Mason Fletch on tank, another tank potential sub, or either way, depending on who's playing. And support or flex, Brimstone, Ian Darling, as well as another support, Granny Sonade, and who's manning Shaw. And for our final support is C4 Gamer Corey McMahon. So yeah, I'm not exactly sure the lineup today, but as soon as we get into the lobby, we'll be able to see who we're going to be who's going to be playing. I assume Azadale, I assume Shaken Dwarf, as soon as he's able to get into the lobby, as well as potentially probably Poseidon. And Granny Sonade on Ana is almost unstoppable, so I wouldn't doubt if he's able to show up that he'll be playing tonight. Fairly low chance you'll see me playing as I'm here right now, but if something crazy happens, you might see me leave and get on my computer. So, but very low chance of that happening. So we most likely will have enough people, the best players around to show you to put on a show for you guys. I think it's going to be a really good match for tonight. And as for the other team, we're going to see exactly once the lobby's set up.
Yeah, we're just getting everyone invited right now.
Yeah, we're getting the invites in. I'm excited because we did win the match last Saturday, and it was a good 3-0 victory. It was well fought. It wasn't something that was just like yes, we did 3-0 them, but it wasn't something where we just absolutely stomped on them because we were having some issues halfway through the game. It was a good back and forth kind of match, but at the end of the day, we did win 3-0. Very good job by our team so far. So I believe our record is currently 1-1 overall. We're going to see how we can perform in this I'd say, because it's a different tournament, or I guess different conference, I guess you could say, for this match. So we're gonna take a look, see how they do.
Yep. And we're just trying to get the lobby here set up. We're all in the lobby now, just getting the roster correct.
Mm-hmm. We'll be getting it to you momentarily. It looks as though, because I've heard that Shawnee State has a pretty good esports program, so this might be a David and Goliath situation. For Marietta, we'll have to see exactly how effective they'll be in shutting down their offense and how good they are at recognizing their patterns on defense. It's just it's going to be a huge jigsaw puzzle. So we'll see how it goes. It'll all unfold, and we'll see exactly how good Marietta is at taking on some. As you get more and more wins, the skill of players you're gonna be against is just gonna be more. So you're gonna play against more difficult opponents. So we'll see exactly how this goes. But yeah.
Yeah, we're just getting everything finalized here. This is a best of 5 series. The first map will be Oasis. So the way the NACE competition works is every week there will be a preset control map, and this week it is going to be Oasis. And then after that, whoever loses will be able to choose the next map. And I would have to pull up the rules to remind myself exactly what that order was because I sent it to my coach and then I completely forgot after that. But we can pull it up here, just making sure that the roster here looks correct. Yeah, starting lineup is going to be Poseidon C4 Gamer on support, Harmful Hades and Azadale as tank, and then Shakendorf and Brimstone. I'm guessing Brimstone's DPSing this time.
All right, sounds good. It looks like that's a pretty strong starting lineup. So we'll see exactly how they'll be able to work together, the cohesiveness. I feel like it's gonna perform really well. So we'll get a taste of how Shawnee State performs as well. So, but yeah, like I'm excited to see how Marietta performs against some competition like this.
Yeah, as I said before, yeah, Shawnee State historically is a very good Overwatch team. So it's going to be a challenge, but we'll see how Marietta does. I mean, they really stepped up when they played against Muskingum this past weekend. And even the following week when they went up against Mount Union, I mean, even though it was an 0-3, a lot of those rounds were very close. So we'll see if we'll see what adjustments. I mean, Marietta has definitely improved since that past week, but let's just see how they do up against a very good Shawnee State team. And we're checking the ready checks, and it looks like Marietta's ready. So as soon as Shawnee State is ready, we will get things underway. Making sure all the audio is good. I think it is. I can kind of sort of hear it, but I think the audio will kick up again once the game starts. If not, we can always adjust that. We are just making sure overlays are good. So using that one. Yeah, so I think we're just waiting for Shawnee State to take care of a few things, and then we will get underway. So many spectators during this, but this should be fun. This will, there we go. Ready? The checks are in, and press the button.
And there we go. Looks like our first map will be on Oasis. I was recently just we were all warming up for this match, and we were playing on this map, and it was a pretty fun time. I mean, we're gonna see Marietta. We were just playing on this map. Like, I feel like they're really well warmed up for this. Looks like Marietta is going to be on offense or defense.
Well, it's control, so they kind of fight for it. That's why it's always control the first map. It's a neutral one.
I forgot. Yeah.
Yeah.
But we'll see what route they take. For this initial push.
Yeah, I'm trying to see what heroes they're going with. I guess I'll just have to wait until they actually pick.
Come on, let's
all right, so it looks like they're gonna go with it's like a dive comp with going with the Winston and Zarya to kind of shield him up. And then you got Sombra with the hacks. You got Reaper to go all in DPS on top. Yeah, this looks like a pretty good like aggressive dive type composition. Which is interesting because it's very different from what Marietta did against Muskingum, because I thought the Zarya Ryan combo worked very well the other day.
Yeah, Ryan Zarya was basically just goats, but legal, I guess, these days. But I would say that with this comp, if they're gonna go with dive, they have to go with dive. You got to be calling out targets. The speed's gonna be really important. The Sombra hacks are gonna be really important. You got to call those out. And it looks like they take the top right initially. Monkey Bubble comes out, gets immediately broken. There's a Sigma. Ryan on the other team. The Sigma gets the Moira. Brimstone is down. Ryan Shield's about to go, but so is the Sigma Shield. Poseidon does manage to get that Torb turret on the right. And it looks like Ryan's going to drop from high ground. Ryan has no shield anymore. Sigma's trying to take his force field out to catch any projectiles. The Monkey for Shawnee State is going to be extremely low. Actually, I believe our Monkey is really low. Just like that's going to be one of our tanks, or of a DPS, and the Torb turret finishing off C4 Gamer. That's going to be lost team fight for the initial points. That's going to definitely belong to Shawnee State. Currently, however, it can easily be taken back. There's just going to be a lot of, and yeah, there's the reset from Poseidon, getting a full reset back into the game. not terrible. First fight lost definitely does not mean you lost the whole match. It's just going to be a little bit of an adaptation. Now that they know the comp they're running, they're going to adapt to it, and they're going to play differently. They're taking mid this time. Initial personal lower for Zarya is gone. Shatter from the Rhine comes out, going to most likely take out the Monkey. Actually, takes out the Moira, takes out the Poseidon, as well as Ryan finishing off C4, as well as Brimstone. That's both healers and both DPS. The only ones that are left are tanks, but minus Azadale, meaning that Monkey is the one trying to escape back to his spawn. So, I just dropped my phone. We are going to see another hard reset.
Yeah, it was that Ryan Shadow that just set up the rest of the play and be able to knock out at least 3 of the Pioneers, take them out one by one, and that allowed them to win the fight and just push them back. So we'll see if Marietta can work their way in. But so far, Shawnee State's put up a very solid defense.
Torb's going to take his lava carpet out, as well as the Moira beam. We're going to be seeing a lot. Actually, that's a lot of picks on the Marietta. That's both healers and both tanks. All that's left is DPS trying to figure out a way to either stay where they are or either escape or just try and figure out a point position to potentially surprise the opponents. But it looks like it's going to be another hard reset. No shame in it, you know, just going to be another adaptation. They have to, if they're losing fights, it just means it's more opportunities to learn, more opportunities to recognize their composition. The Torb's getting it's getting pretty annoying for Marietta, as well as the Sombra. Ryan can't use his shield, Ryan can't block the Shatter, and there goes the Shatter out a second time, as well as the Lucio ult for Marietta, trying to save a few extra lives. And there's the beat from Shawnee State. Shakendorf is on the high ground on point, just trying to test a little bit before the Monkey comes in. And there is one kill of the Death Blossom. However, the Sigma is going to eat a lot of that damage, just being able to regenerate his own shields. Brimstone does get the refrag back onto the Sombra. And it looks like this is going to be a pretty even fight right now, trying to just get rid of that Torb because everyone is mad at Torb at this point. Azadale is going to be taken down after he switched to Ryan from Zarya. And it's also going to be Hades going to be taken out by Torb, as well as Say getting a double kill onto one of the DPS and one of the healers, and the kill onto the Lucio to finish it off. That's a singular point for Shawnee State. Very well done by them. In terms of improvement, I think Marietta, they changed up their comp. They switched off the Zarya. They went to the Rhine. They wanted the shield, right? They got the shield. Then the Rhine got hacked. You can't use the shield anymore. Rhine shatters, gets all the kills. That's just as much as Marietta's adapting. They're adapting too. They're like, okay, we see that they've switched to a Rhine. Okay, just hack the Rhine. The Sombra gets behind the Rhine, gets the hack off, gets rid of the shield. They're done for. Marietta has to remember that although they can adapt, Shawnee State can adapt just as much. They can do just as much as they can. It's just how fast you adapt is the difference. If you lose a fight, you have to be prepared for the adaptation to your adaptation. So now we're going to see second site, I guess you could say, for this map, going to be control again, and we're going to see they're going to take it far left. Looks like Junk's going to try and get a little bit of high ground, but he's going to be taken out by the Reaper initially. Hopefully there's going to be no boops on the Marietta. Absolutely none. And looks like there's going to be He's going to try and get a res onto the Junkrat, but was unsuccessful. Reaper get the double kill onto the Monkey. It was Mercy. Azadale does get an extra frag onto the Moira, but with Poseidon and Azadale being taken out finally, it's going to be a low impact frag initially. So we're going to see, again, lost team fight, not a big deal. Adapt, overcome.
Yeah, it looks like Shawnee State is just really on point with their targets. It's almost like as soon as they pick a target, it just drops. Everyone's on that same page of who they need to be taking out.
Like as you can see, like the Ashe was being targeted right there initially, and she was almost dead. But as you can see, the target wasn't successful. Narflades gets a frag onto the Moira, as well as the Ashe getting a fire strike kill onto the Reaper. That's going to be a huge team man count disadvantage. And there's the kill onto the Echo, which was switched to by Finnick, as well as the C4 kill onto or the sticky bomb kill onto the Monkey. And it looks like it's going to be either a reset or the Zarya for Shawnee State just accidentally fell off or somehow killed herself. There's 2 Blossom kills from Prime on the Reaper. Very well done. That's going to be 2 extra frags on Azadale and Poseidon. That was a really, really well done Blossom right there. That's going to finish it off. I don't know if it's a team kill or not, but might as well be. Another lost team fight. So the Reaper comes in, the Ryan's there, he's shielding it up, but no one's behind Ryan's shield. The only one that survives a Death Blossom is the Ryan himself. Everyone, he's standing there while his teammates are being melted down by it. That again, the Blossom was very bold, but he was rewarded off of it. So we're gonna see the Monkey diving into the back line, getting his Primal Rage out. We're gonna see if he's gonna be able to juggle anyone. He's also being bubbled by this Zarya for a little bit of extra health. And it looks like they're just trying to camp spawn, make sure that they just can't even get to the point themselves. I don't even know if the C9 has potential. It has any potential at this point. Brimstones is going to get an extra res on the Shaken Dwarf, trying to get a little bit of extra pressure onto them. I mean, there's the Zarya grab. At that point, it's really difficult to get past anywhere because unless you're Orisa and you're fortified, you can't get past that thing. Really, it's gonna be a little annoying. There's a double Moira beam trying to a bit of a stalemate right there. There's a shadow that gets absolutely no one, and we're going to see that just Brimstone is able to touch a little bit. But it's not going to be enough exactly to get the point itself. Again, valiant attempt by Marietta. They were able to touch, were able to get it to overtime, but they weren't able to follow up. The Zarya grab was simply meant to just stall because they just want the point to be taken. At that point, when they know that they can get this point, they're just going to dump ultimates in it because you can do that. You can do that when it's the very final point. You just dump ults. You dump the Monkey ultimate, and then you also just dump the Zarya grab into it. Why not? Because if you do this, you win, you know? At that point, you can just do whatever you want. Beautiful play by the Ryan for Shawnee State. Overall, very fun first map. Obviously didn't go in favor of Marietta. However, a big part of that is just because not only are they able to, is Marietta, they're adapting, but at the same time, Shawnee State is adapting very effectively at the same time. It's going to be a factor as like if Shawnee State knows that they're going to run a comp that's initially because when it comes to like the very first fight, it's kind of a toss up because you don't know what comp they're going to run, so the fight can go either way. Then once that fight is done for, they can identify who are they playing, who are they using, what strategy are they using with that character, and then they can change their comp up and do that. Whatever that the team that initially loses the team fight can get the most insight off of that. Because if you're successful, you're not going to be able to change that much if you have any problems. But yeah, other than that, Marietta they were successful in adapting, but so was Shawnee State tenfold. They were just able to see, okay, they switched off the Zarya to the Rhine. All right, let's switch up our playstyle. Make sure you hack that Rhine. Hack the Rhine. There's no shield anymore. Can't block the shatter. Rhine gets a second big shatter off in a row, and that's all there is to it. The huge part is that like sometimes when adapting to your opponents is not just about changing your character, it's also about how you play. So like if you're saying, okay, we don't necessarily change up our comp, we just have to change up how we fight this comp. And that's exactly what Shawnee State did. Although the Rhine was a good pick to switch it up, the Rhine was flanked by the Sombra, and that's a huge issue, is that Sombra is super powerful, just getting rid of integral parts of a team that block certain ultimates. So very well done by both teams. If Marietta wants to win this, they just have to adapt way faster. They have to be able to just change their strategy on the fly, because at this point, neither team is necessarily doing incredibly better than each other. There's just this adaptation that's faster. And that's the whole David and Goliath situation with this, is like if you want to get past this, you're gonna have to do something crazy. And you're gonna have to make a change. And you have to do it fast. So not a big deal. But we'll see in the next match.
So we're going to get things set up for game 2. We're just getting a couple things set for the lobby. It looks like it will be Dorado. And they're going to be making a couple of swaps on Marietta's roster. Looks like questionably will be in for Shaken Dwarf. So we're just trying to get all those adjustments set up, and then we'll have this game in a way. It is a best of 5 series. So even if Marietta does not win this next game, it is not over yet. But they're going to definitely overcome the cohesion that Shawnee State definitely had from that. It just seemed like everyone was on that same page. I obviously couldn't hear comms for Shawnee State, but I'm going to guess that they were pretty well in sync with each other. If I could talk, that would be wonderful, you know? But let us see how they play against that.
Mm-hmm. I'm really impressed by how each team is performing. It's just sometimes with experience with the team, sometimes it's just okay. there's this simple part of adaptation that I'm saying that like if you want to do better, then they say, okay, there's this pattern that they're using. This is the character that they never get off of. And, you know, this Sombra always goes this way, or whatever they do. Recognition of how an opponent plays is super important in this game, because aim is always important, positioning is always important, usage of abilities is always important, but not only being able to have that mechanical skill, but allocating it efficiently. And that is one huge issue that's going on. I feel like Shawnee State obviously has huge potential to win this, because they know that they're really fluid with their communication, and they're really able to focus targets. Like, again, Marietta, they went a dive comp, and with dive comps you have to focus targets. I guarantee they called it a target, but the thing is, when it's behind that Rhine shield and that Sigma shield, they didn't know how to respond to that. So like, again, you have to expect the unexpected always. It's always on the fly.
Here we are in Dorado. We'll see what kind of composition they're going with.
Yeah, Dorado's a fun map. I like the lighting on it. I think it's a really fun map to play. I have a lot of good clips on this map. It's certainly going to be an enjoyable map to see. I will say that again, this is one of those maps where as soon as you get out, you gotta just start pushing that cart. And what I would say is that they're gonna have to just recognize, like, when you go around that initial elbow, you go around that corner, you know you're gonna be either met with an Orisa, you're gonna be seeing Orion on the high ground, or you're just gonna see a Widow just trying to get some extra picks off. You just have to remember to visualize what's gonna happen as soon as you get out of that gate. So,
okay, so Barry is doing something very interesting with this comp. So they're going with the Zarya Winston like they did in game 1, but you notice anything out of the ordinary with this composition?
Yeah, I do see, like, again, the healer lineup I love. We love the Sombra and the Tracer. It's really interesting to see that Azadale is going to be on DPS for this. We're going to take a look at how he's going to perform. Azadale is usually flex tank player, so we'll see how good he is on the Tracer. And it looks like we're going to have, I believe they must be holding the high ground all the way back on the other choke. Or actually, no, they're not even. Oh yes, they are. They're holding in the mid building.
Yeah, so Azadale's going from behind to try to see if he catches Zenyatta, and he will catch him off.
That is one initial pick. There's also the Doomfist getting a frag onto Poseidon. That's going to be that right click, you know. Doomfist's most effective move in my opinion. We're gonna see that's just gonna be a trade, you know. But he's just gonna be on the Zarya. Doom being 1 HP, finally being taken out by the Zarya, as well as the Winston taking out Shawnee State's Sombra, and the ball from Azadale. C4 Gamer taking out Winston. That's going to be very well done. The initial pick by the Tracer, flanking all the way around, being patient, and then getting onto that Zenyatta that has his back turned to her. The thing about the Zenyatta is he doesn't have movement. He doesn't have any movement abilities. If he's targeted by a Tracer, he cannot do anything about it. He needs help from his team. The best he can do is throw a Discord Orb and pray that he can somehow hit a Tracer. And his back was turned to her. That was just an easy frag for the Tracer initially there. Really good first starting point. Overall, I mean, it's looking to be a good decision to change Azadale straight to the DPS, but we will see how it's going to hold up the rest of the match. Lucky does get hacked, however, C4 Gamer pulls out the beat just to make sure that everyone can stay alive for a little bit longer. There's the Meteor Strike from the Doom getting C4 Gamer as he's trying to escape it, and then we're going to see him also get another frag onto Zarya, as well as another one onto Hades. That's both tanks, both DPS, and I believe everyone except the Ana. Actually, I think Ana was killed earlier.
Yeah.
But she is in spawn. We're going to see Ana almost has Nano as well, so we'll see how this is going to go. We'll see how this is going to go.
Yeah, we do see we have EMP, we have Nano, and we have Winston's all Primal Rage is ready to go. So we'll see what they use for this next team fight. I still got minute 50 to get to the checkpoint.
Yeah, I would expect a Nano Monkey into his Primal Rage. However, this can go either way. I just feel like if they're going to get an initial push off, they're going to have to do something to bully the team, and there's one way to do it. So
yes, and they got the pick onto Wrecking Ball, so that might be the move that Marietta needs to jump in, but 3 for Marietta have already fallen.
I feel like this, so like with this situation, again, the Sombra's getting tons of hacks off for this. The EMP goes off. The EMP goes off actually onto, I believe, yeah, the Sombra EMP goes off onto Shawnee State. Does a good job. However, while being EMP'd, Shawnee State is still able to just massacre them by being able to adapt and focus targets even while hacked. And the Sombra just proceeds to get a bunch of hacks off at the same time. So very well done. Again, like there's a Doomfist getting rid of Poseidon. Doomfist is putting in work for this team. There's another one on the Azadale. The Doomfist just doesn't stop. Like if they have to adapt their comp just to getting this Doomfist, it wouldn't hurt. I'd say that there's a double kill for the Sombra onto Brimstone unquestionably, and as well as a third one on a C4, Rez onto the Monkey, and then finally, Spectacular gets the ground slam kill onto the Winston. That's going to be another lost team fight for Marietta. However, we do have Grav from the Zarya. It's going to have to be one final team fight for Marietta. Let's see if they can do it. They were able to get the initial pick off onto the Zenyatta. That's what got them pushed up here.
Yeah, they still have 3 ults left, so they really need to pop all 3 of them if they want to get to that point. They actually need to get to the checkpoint now.
5 seconds about left in the timer, and there comes the Monkey's Primal Wall. If they're going to dump ults, if we're going to dump ults, they're going to dump it too. So there's the hack onto all of Marietta. Q is taken out, but did not use his ultimate. There's the Doomfist all coming out. There's also one Winston kill from Marietta. However, that's going to be a res back onto the Sombra. Moira being killed onto Azadale. And finally, the Sombra kill onto Hades. That is a final round or a completed round for Marietta. They got to pass the initial choke. They got the pick, you know. They obviously weren't able to get it to the first point, but being able to get past the initial choke is still impressive. They got through. So, like, we'll see how far. We'll see if we can learn from how effective Shawnee State will be at their composition. So, like, again, it was an odd, like, again, we weren't surprised at the decision to put Asdale on Tracer, but he did get the pick off. So initially it was a good idea because he had the idea to just, okay, maybe what if I just flank and go straight to high ground? Because they weren't holding the high ground that's far back from the initial elbow. The Zenyatta was by himself on the high ground that was closest, facing towards the initial start, but they were all in the mid building. They weren't able to help out the Zenyatta at all. Shawnee State wasn't. And Asdale took advantage of it. So, if they can recognize weaknesses like this in Shawnee State's composition, they could still win this. It's just going to be a very difficult battle.
Yeah, it seems like Marietta's still committed to the dive, and I don't know. I mean, they've been struggling with the dive, so I mean, it might be better to go with a different comp. But they seem to be all in on the dive. The pun was somewhat intended, but. We'll see how that works here as they defend. Because they weren't able to get any checkpoints, Shawnee State doesn't have to go very far to be able to take this game.
Yeah, I'd say that again, if they're going to use a dive comp, you really have to commit to it. And like, I get what they're going with. Again, the D.Va being able to just delete everything from grabs to like tons of different projectiles in the game. Not a bad pick, it's just you're going to have to be able to utilize this comp the way it's supposed to be. And that's the only way you're going to be able to use it. It's sort of like just aggression in general, or any aggro strat. It either works really, really, really well, or it doesn't work at all. And as you can see, there's going to be the pick onto the D.Va, as well as the pick on Poseidon, as well as Monkey, C4 Gamer, Brimstone. It's going to be a lost team fight, and it looks like they will probably only have one fight left in them before they get to the initial point, or maybe not even that. Reaper does get a kill onto Soldier, and almost onto Lucio. However, he was not able to finish it off. And he could have raked away, but he was killed a bit too early for it. It looks like the D.Va is trying to contest as much as she possibly can. C4 Gamer also trying to help out a little bit. Echo does copy the Monkey, trying to figure out, there's the Primal Rage coming out from the Monkey, is from the Echo as well. And it looks like the D.Va does get her mech back in the nick of time, and there's also going to be the Sigma coming out. The D.Va's just trying to figure out a way. There is going to be 2 picks onto the Monkey as well as C4 Gamer, but the Monkey's going to be rezzed by Brimstone. D.Va's going to be out of mech, Q is, and then Azza is going to be taken out by the Ground Slam as well as the baby D.Va from the Echo. And it looks like there's only going to be, I don't think there's anyone there to contest. There's a singular person to contest, but that was the Monkey, and that should be it. That is the second map, and that is going to be 2-0 for 2-0 Shawnee State. Again, very well done. I feel like the dive comp was sort of, I guess, allocated a little bit improperly. For instance, when the monkey dove up top and he saw the soldier, and I forget who else is with the soldier, but when the monkey dived up top at this initial choke right here to the right of Sombra, the monkey dove up there. The soldier's getting spam healed by his healing ability, and the monkey, he can't dish out damage very effectively. If you know Monkey, he can get multiple targets and you don't have to aim with him at all. But at the same time, Monkey doesn't put a lot of damage out there. You sort of have to help out the Monkey. The Monkey's just there to make sure that you have a bubble, to make sure you got a big target to sort of body block you, and to help out with efficient movement, being able to dive certain areas. So I would say that if they dive, they all have to recognize the target and agree on it. Even if it's just someone calling out a random target and everyone going for it, it's better than going for the targets that they think they should go for, because everyone has different opinions on it. Even if there's someone all the way in the back line and they say, okay, dive Mercy, doing that and everyone committing to that is way better than trying to feel out who they should dive. So again, very good game by Shawnee State. Really impressed by it. I feel like it's just, again, going with, if they're going to run this dive comp, they need to make sure that they are prepared for it, that they've practiced it and rehearsed it. That's the big thing about getting better at a game is sometimes you have to do things that you don't like. You have to go through practices. You have to go through drills. You have to do things that you don't want to do. And whether it's just doing something small, like just playing a little quick play and everyone just playing a certain comp and then just saying, okay, if when I say a target, we dive it, and that's it. And then they just go for that. It's just some people, I mean, I'd say that like a big issue with it is that when they get into the actual game, they'll be playing like, okay, I know what to do when you call a target, I'll dive it, and then they get antied, or then they get hacked, and then they get all this mental pressure, because mental pressure adds a lot when you're playing. And if you get dove yourself and you get worried about that, you're so focused on what you're doing as a team that you forget about what everything else that can happen to you while you're playing. And then it happens, and then instead of ignoring it and doing the job as your role, you panic, and that can be a huge issue with the team. That's exactly what Shawnee State was taking advantage of. So again, if they're going to play dive, they really got to play it, and if they want to play a different comp, they can go right ahead. Just they gotta remember that it has to have a purpose. Final map's gonna be King's Row. I like the map. It's not exactly one of my absolute favorites. I know a lot of people like it. It's fun. However, I've also been destroyed on this map a decent amount. So I'd say that most of the time it's a pretty enjoyable map for both sides. But I wouldn't say it's my absolute favorite. But yeah, we'll see exactly what comp they're going to be taking out for. Is Marietta going to be on defense?
I think Marietta's going to start on offense. They're
Offense?
on blue side, so if I remember right, blue side is offense.
All right, sounds good. And we will see how Marietta will be able to take this. It looks like they're going to be going for their strategy where the Widow gets picks on high ground on the initial choke. It's an effective strategy. The whole part about it though is that the Widow has to get picks, and that's the biggest part. Even if it's just so much as one pick, a 5v6 is now going to be like incredibly efficient. But the thing is, if the Widow's all the way in the back and she's not getting picks, it's essentially a 6v5. That's why the Widow has to get that pick on, and you can do it. It's just you have to make sure you're doing it. That's an integral part of the strat. Because if you're having one teammate lagging all the way behind, if they're not doing something, then it's just a 5v6. So I understand this strat, I get it, but it has to work. If that makes sense.
Yeah, and it looks like they're going to go with the Zarya Ryan composition this time. And I like this decision much better because I feel like Marietta is not... I feel like they have some things to work out for the dive comp. But the Zarya Ryan combo, they can do that very well. Although C4 Gamer does get picked off very early in the game.
We're going to see that the initial choke is going to be... Again, this is one of the reasons why I'm not the biggest fan of this map. It's because the initial choke here can seem to be very difficult to get past. There, and it does get a little bit further past it by the statue. I don't know if they're going to decide if they're going to go through the hotel or not. Half of the team is actually going around the statue, and the other half is going through hotel. They haven't fully committed to one side exactly yet. There's going to be a res back on a Shaking Dwarf after he was fragged by the Zenyatta. However, the Fire Strike does kill Azadale. They're going to be down a tank. And it looks like Mercy is not going to be able to res for another 20 seconds. It's going to be another frag on a Brimstone. That is going to be one healer down and one DPS down, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. And actually, I think it's actually going to be, yeah, it's going to be one healer down. And, but, you know, back to the initial choke. They are running they're actually running the Sigma Rhine here. We're going to see what they're going to be able to do with, it looks like Azadel is going to be on the Sigma. He is really confident in his Sigma play, so we'll see exactly how effective we'll be with it. It looks like they're also running a Mei on DPS, and the Mei is always a really fun character to play. There's going to be an EMP as well as a Tire coming out to wipe out Marietta. That's going to be a frag onto nearly a team kill. And there's also going to be some nice extra shots coming from the Junkrat onto Shaking Dwarf. So this is going to be another full reset. And I'd say with this, again, getting past the choke can be really difficult. However, once you do, it's best to fully commit to a certain side where you take Hotel or Statue. As you can see, they split up initially, and it kind of hurt them a little bit. There's going to be Q getting an initial fire strike kill onto the Junker that's pretty effective. However, the double kill from the Rhine and Zenyatta onto Brimstone and Marietta's Rhine is going to be not as effective. As 3 down from Marietta to 3v6 at this point, or 3v5, I'd say. And it's going to have to be another reset for Marietta. They're going to have 1 minute 40 seconds currently to get the point. And I'd say that, again, they still have potential. They can still do it. They just need to be able to figure out a way to get past this choke. Either fully commit to Hotel, fully commit to going around the statue. They just need a plan for it. Right now, they're just sort of trying to get a little bit extra damage off. The Sigma's discorded, so he can't poke as fast as he can. Looks like they're fully committing to right side of the statue. There's the Mei wall helping out. And they're actually going full right, all the way on the right, actually. We're going to see exactly how effective this is going to be from Marietta. However, the Sigma does get trapped, and there's still Discord. You can target it very effectively by that. There's the mana for Rhine coming out. Let's see if they can get rid of a shield. They can't. He can't get a shatter off right now because of the. He actually probably doesn't want to get a shatter off because both ults have been allocated. But there is a hack that's coming out from the Sombra. Again, the Sombra is coming in very clutch with the hacks, very, very effective. And that is going to be another lost team from Marietta. 45 seconds left on the timer. The Widowmaker is going to try and get some extra picks off from the high ground. It's going to be pretty difficult to do that when they have all these shields to hide behind. However, sometimes you can find the teammates that's lacking behind. And we'll see exactly how effective he's going to be. C4 Gamer taken out by Junk, as well as getting a double kill actually on Azadel with one of the C4s. That's going to be, and Poseidon being taken out by the Zenyatta. That is going to be another hard reset. However, they do have 15 seconds, so they got to make a decision. They have to get past choke. They have to dump some ults, and they have to either get around the statue or go through Hotel. Looks like they're just actually going straight down mid for this. And there's going to be a huge shatter, and there's going to still be 2 frags onto the Rhine. And it looks like the kills are there for the taking, but there's a shatter from the Rhine, a whole shatter killing Azadel. And there's Brimstone dying to Sombra, as well as Sombra getting the frag out of the Junkrat, as well as Poseidon and Super Gamer getting fragged off. It's going to be another lost team fight, and that's going to be round 1 finished for the 3rd map. So they weren't able to capture the point, so this means that I believe if Marietta also wants to do this, they're going to have to make sure that I don't even think they were able to get a tick off, I believe, so they would have to make sure that Shawnee State can't even get a singular tick onto the point. I'm interested to see what defense characters they're going to run for switching sides, and yeah, like again, the Sombra is like incredibly effective for Shawnee State. Even when the Rhine was nanoed and he was getting damage off and there was a massive shatter and everyone was being pocketed by the Valkyrie Mercy, while all this is happening, the frags aren't happening at the same time. And the Rhine isn't allocating a shatter. It's because he wants that Rhine to drop his shield, but the Rhine isn't dropping he's not dropping his shield at all. And that prevents Rhine from being able to get any shatters off in the first place. It looks like they're going to be going with a Bastion, as well as a Baptiste, the Arisa Rhine. Looks like they're going for a hard bunker strat for this map, as well as a Symmetra. Those extra little turrets that really annoy me a little bit, but we'll see how well they can do this. This is a hard bunker strat, so we will see exactly how effective it's gonna be. Initial sim turrets.
There. Yeah, this is basically an all-in strat. I have a feeling like if they lose one team fight, Shawnee State will be able to take a tick and take the match. So hopefully this bunker strat will hold.
Yeah, we're gonna see as there's gonna be cycling shields. The Bastion's going to try and get some extra little cheeky kills from the statue. However, the Junkrat does get a lot of kills, a lot of damage onto Shaken Dwarf. However, he can be immediately rezzed and pocketed by the Mercy. However, it's too much for the Orisa, which is just laying down damage onto the Bastion, who cannot melt her as efficiently as she's fortified, as well as there's a shield behind her. It's going to be difficult to get so much damage off. Even though Bastion does a lot of damage and melts you really fast, he can't melt you that fast. And we're going to see that the fight is still winnable to a degree. I believe that they're now that was a good dive on Marietta's part. However, the side is going to be taken out. However, he will be rezzed by Mercy. There's going to be another tire coming out, and there's also going to be a tire almost killing C4 Gamer. However, there's going to be another frag on Poseidon, and there's going to be the Immortality Field being destroyed by Shawnee State's Baptiste, and it looks like that's going to be a tick, and that is going to be a final map, and that is going to be game, set, and match 3-0 Shawnee State. Very well done by both teams. Very impressive, very enjoyable game. Again, Marietta just needs to work on adaptation and commitment to their comp. We'll see this play of the game real quick. This is from Shawnee State's Junkrat. Again, very well done. The Junk was getting a lot of tires off throughout the game. Yeah. He's very good on him. So yeah, impressive.
And I don't think Marietta should walk away disappointed from this. I mean, yeah, if you look at the final score, 3-0 doesn't look good. But you have to consider the caliber of Shawnee State's team. I mean, they are, if I remember right, like mostly like plat diamond, which is about a tier or two above our average Overwatch players. So, as I said at the beginning of the broadcast, that Shawnee State's a very good Overwatch team, and we saw firsthand why. So, props to them. They did everything right. And I don't think there was so much that Marietta did anything wrong. Like, I still question a little bit the dive composition. I think that's still something they need to work on. But I think it was just the better team won the match. So I do hope that the Pioneers keep their heads up high for how hard they fought in all three of these games.
Like, again, like I'm really glad that if they're going with the dive comp, they did commit to it, even if it wasn't successful. They just have to work on it a little bit. I still feel like they have potential with it. It's just if they're going to go with it, they have to go with it. And I'd say that, for the most part, Shawnee State, their defense held really well. Their offense was really successful. The Sombra was extremely annoying for most of the time, which was able to get a lot of attention away from Marietta. And it was a huge issue with it is that if you're going to try to target that Sombra, that's another reason why they brought up the Monkey, to make sure that they can, scan for... get a lot of, because obviously again with Monkey you don't have to aim, you just get that Sombra off, which can be difficult to hit and locate because you can just teleport away all the time. But yeah, like very well done by both teams. Dive comp again, but work on it, they'll be a lot better, and I feel like it could actually work wonders for them.
Yep. All right, so I think that's going to be it for all of us here. So thank you for watching. Just a couple of programming notes. This isn't our only NACE competition for the week. So tomorrow we actually have a double header in Rocket League. Up first, the Pioneers will be going up against Lords University. I think I made a mistake earlier when I put out some social media. I thought it was Manchester, but Lords will be first at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. And then we'll play Manchester at 9:15 p.m. Eastern Time. And both of those are best of fives. So be sure to come back tomorrow for this back-to-back all night Rocket League match going on here. It's going to be exciting. I know the Rocket League team's been working very hard. And what's also ironic about this is both Lords and Manchester are part of the GLEC, and the match with Manchester is going to be a rematch because we played against them week 1 in the regular season. So Marietta is going to have a chance to see if they can take another stab at Manchester. So it'll be very exciting to watch.
Yeah, again, like Rocket League's really fun to commentate, really fun to watch. I'm really excited to see what they can do. They've learned a lot from that match because they have the VOD review they can use. They just played against them. I'd love to see what they can do, how they've improved with their aggression, with their defense, allocation to teammates, just different like passing, dribbling, whatever. I feel like they're going to do a lot better this.
Mm-hmm. All right, yeah, so that'll be it for us today. For all the latest updates on Marietta College Esports, please be sure to follow us on social media. You can go to Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, or YouTube at Marietta Esports. So from all of us here, thank you, and hope you enjoy the rest of your evening.